Okay, how's it going, everybody? Today we're going to read Deng Xiaoping, mobilize new recruits and conduct political work among them. This is in 1938. So during this time, this is the oldest writing that I found from Deng Xiaoping. This is during the anti-Japanese struggle. Yeah, that's what I know is that it's, during the war against Japanese imperialism. I'm not sure if this is before the Red Army joined the Kuomintang, but against the Japanese imperialist army. But yeah, I bet it is, because we were talking about earlier, is like I think it's in 34. Mao was writing about, how that was kind of on the table, and how it was, they weren't looking to do it necessarily. They had a list of demands. So maybe by this time, 38, I would think they might have already been kind of joining together. I might be wrong though. We'll find out. This is Deng Xiaoping, who later became the leader of China. And I got to think of what the correct word that you call it. He basically became what Mao's position was after the Gang of Four, the thing going on with the Gang of Four. I'm just going to get into this. So, mobilize new recruits and conduct political work among them. This is section 1. Currently, we are suffering a temporary and partial setback in our defensive war against Japan. But this is not final defeat. The final outcome of the war will be determined by a protracted war of resistance. In order to continue in the present war, we must take full advantage of the valuable experience we have gained from the past 6 months fighting. We should not only study strategy and tactics, but also do our utmost in every possible way to build up and expand the national armed forces by mobilizing the people to join the army, replenishing the existing corps, and organizing new armed units in order to support an arduous, long drawn-out war. There is no question that the sons and daughters of the Chinese nation are ready to fight to the death in the forefront against the Japanese aggressors and to win the liberation of their nation at the cost of their own flesh and blood. However, this does not mean that recruitment is completely without problems. First of all, we have not exploded the traditional myth that a, quote, good man doesn't join the army. Second, not enough attention has been paid to education and the need to defend the country, and to fight Japan in particular among the masses. This important work has remained utterly inadequate even since the War of Resistance broke out. Third, some people have used coercion in recruitment, a mistake that has made it most difficult for us to enlist new recruits and has resulted in those forced to join the army lacking a strong will and courage to fight, and one that could even cause antagonism between the people on the one hand, and the government and army on the other. This would only play into the hands of the Japanese aggressors and Chinese collaborators. Finally, if the government's policy of giving preferential treatment to families of soldiers who order to reduce their problems to a minimum has not been properly implemented, so that the soldiers are not able to fight without worries about their families, and people are lacking the determination and courage to join the army. If we soberly review our experience in recruiting soldiers over the past few months, we can see that because of the aforesaid mistakes made in some areas, people may fail to realize that the future of the nation hangs in the balance, and that they should rush to the front with the deepest hatred for the foreign foe. And they may, therefore, become increasingly reluctant to join the army. They may fail to realize the importance of the government's policy of building up and expanding its defense capability in order to achieve final victory in the war of resistance. Moreover, among some people, dissatisfaction with the government may increase. People may fail to realize that the arduous struggle now being conducted by the officers and men at the front is closely related to the fate of the country and their families. They may fail to carry forward the fine tradition of unity between the army and the people during the days of the Great Revolution. And they may fail to warmly support the army and show gratitude in order to encourage it to win the war of resistance in the end. Moreover, some people may become disgusted with the army and be loath to join it. In addition, the Japanese aggressors, Chinese collaborators, and Trotskyites may use these mistakes to incite people to revolt, as a way to threaten and harass the rear areas in the fight against the Japanese aggressors. These phenomena are serious enough to demand our close vigilance, even if they are to be found in only 1 or 2 villages and among a very small number of people. It is true that our recent recruitment efforts have been quite successful, and our troops at this front have generally been kept replenished. This does not, however, mean that we can continue those undesirable methods of recruitment, since they can help supplement the Army only for a short period of time, and they can never serve the needs of a protracted war of resistance, only when the appropriate methods are corrected with successful recruitment, be ensured for the future. Okay, yes, so that's part 1 of Mobilize New Recruits and Conduct Political Work Among Them. This is Deng Xiaoping in 1938. So, well, thank y'all for tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. Follow me on all those. It's Marxist Saw and MarxistSaw. And thank y'all. Y'all have a great day.